The perception of the labor market is changing, and some fear that the market as a whole is starting to break. The number of available jobs in the United States just hit a 3.5 year low. New jobs in the United States are disappearing. Now, in this video, we're going to discuss this latest information from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We're going to talk about what it means for the economy and, more importantly, what it means for you and me. Now, before we get started, let me just say that if you like content like this, leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this and hit that thumbs up button for me. Job openings in the United States fell to 7.67 million in July. That is down from 7.91 million in June, and that is the lowest number of job openings that we have had in a month since January of 2021. Now, just for reference, economists and different people, they estimated that there would be 8.1 million in July, so the numbers came in underwhelming. This was disappointing data. The number of jobs that are available for people to get, it is continuing to decrease. It is continuing to go down, and this information comes to us from the July job openings and labor turnover survey report. Now, not too long ago, we had a whole bunch of job openings. We had so many job openings and not enough workers. You had people complaining how they couldn't find people to fill jobs. Well, there is sort of a rebalancing that is going on right now. At that time, wages were going up, people were competing just to get workers. Now, for a working class person, that was a great time. But historically, it's not like that. That was something that happened to us after the COVID pandemic. Historically, things are more like how they are right now. And you're sort of having this rebalancing that's starting to take place. Now, some economists, they worry about it. The number of job openings, the jobless report, which actually came in pretty good, today, the other day, the information that's been coming out. Big report is coming out on Friday, but the jobless claims have, kind of steadied off. But this available jobs data hitting a low, in the last couple of years. You have some economists that are very worried. You have others that are just sort of looking at this as a rebalancing. Things are getting back to normal. And yes, when you hear the lowest number since 21, well, we've kind of been in a weird position, since 2020, 2021, and this rebalancing that's sort of starting to happen. But you also have other economists and researchers and, just people that kind of study economics and what's going on in the United States that are kind of throwing up red flags and flashing red lights and kind of see this as a worrying sign, while others not as much. The perception of the labor market is changing, and some fear that the market as a whole is starting to break. You have to remember that only 114,000 jobs were gained in July, which is a much smaller number than was expected. We also saw layoffs and discharges increase in July to 1.76 million, the highest number in over a year. So basically, more people are being let go from their jobs, more people are being fired right now than the last couple of months. It's the biggest number in over a year. And we have to also keep in mind that when the Fed does cut rates, which they will be doing in a couple of weeks now, there is going to be a lag period. It's not, the effects of those rate cuts are not going to be felt right away. It's going to be months and months down the line, 6 months to 9 months even down the line, that the full effect of rate cuts will, trickle into the rate market. Yes, money will be cheaper to come across. Companies and businesses will take advantage of it. They will invest in themselves. They will invest in labor, which will lead to hiring. But it's not like, they cut rates in September and right away that rate cut, people start hiring right away. Well, they have to actually get loans and take on the cheap money. It's a period of time that has to take place. So we might feel more pain, and there might be some more bad information that comes out from the labor market. And again, it's not necessarily all bad. Like I said, the jobless claims that just came out yesterday, today, this job openings information does not look that good. It's decreasing the amount of jobs that are available, but jobless claims are going down. But also layoffs and fire discharges are going up. So, a lot of information that's being thrown at us. Some people see it as a worrying sign that the market is, kind of breaking down. Others see it as a rebalancing. It's going to be interesting to see how the Fed views it, and this can definitely affect the amount that they do as far as a rate cut goes. Now, I've said it in previous videos. I do think that it's going to be a 0.25% rate cut. I've kind of stuck by that. Others think it's going to be a jumbo rate cut, a 0.5 rate cut. But that also sends a message that they are trying to tame the market or prevent a recession from happening. And depending on how that might be perceived as well, people might get some certain fears if it is that type of rate cut, an aggressive one. While the market can react favorably to it, you might also get some people that, why are you being so aggressive? Are things really getting that bad? So, depending on which angle you look at it, there's a lot of different dynamics that are involved in this. It's not all just black and white. There's a lot of gray area involved, and also understand a lot of the information that comes in, it's from previous months. And overall, the labor market has been kind of cooling off. It's been cooling off for quite a while now. The Fed sees this, economists, everybody sees this. It sort of is a rebalancing from what happened, during the COVID pandemic. Things are kind of taming down from that market that, you just needed workers. You had a hard time finding workers. Well, you could find the workers now, and things are kind of shifting out of the favor of the worker. But at the same time, you have to be cautious. And when these red flags and different things kind of pop up, you have to also think, hey, is the labor market starting to break in some type of way? Should we be worried about it? I personally don't think that you have to be too worried about the labor market as a whole. Now, again, if you're somebody that's recently lost your job and you're struggling to find a new job, if this hits home, well, obviously that's a completely different situation. And I think everybody should be aware of what's going on. And different sectors are getting affected differently. The IT market and technology, that one's getting hit really hard. Hospitality usually does when we get into a recession, but other industries are not getting hit as hard. Manufacturing has kind of slowed down, not regressed. And I made a video the other day about China and their factory output, and how their factory output is slowing down. I never said that it was and China's negative GDP. I never said anything like that. Countries are still growing. GDP is still increasing, but there is a slowdown that is going on everywhere across the world. And a slowdown, while still growing, it can lead to it can lead to a recession. So I'm just kind of pointing out the things that are out there. I'm not saying that we will enter a recession, but there is a likelihood that one might happen in the US. It might happen overseas. It might be a global thing that takes place. And the high debt that governments have, and the shift in policy that's going on right now, and how fast debt is growing, there is a lot of things to be concerned about. And I think that everybody should be aware of it. If you like content like this, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this, and hit that thumbs up button for me.